Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Monday night team call. We have Caitlin Wilcox on. She is an RVP. She launched her business in 2005. She has two boys. She has an 11-year-old named Harrison, 14-year-old named Harrison, and 11-year-old named Noah. She actually retired from being a director of education within 1 year because of Arbonne. So I'm going to let Caitlin take it away. And thank you so much for coming on for us.
Oh, my pleasure, you guys. My pleasure, Meg, and Liz, too, who reached out to me originally. I am so excited and honored to be with you guys, and I hope that something I share is honestly just a nugget that works for you. I'm laughing because I'm freezing. So I live on the Cape in Sandwich, Massachusetts, obviously, and I'm cuddled up with my detox tea because it's freezing outside. And how many of you are with me watching Facebook to everyone who's down in Jamaica and having a little bit? Yeah, I love the hands from Beyonce. Yes, so this was a kick in the butt. You know, it's pretty ironic how the universe works in mysterious ways. Because as Megan shared, this is my 13th year with Arbonne. It will be my 13th anniversary in November. And I have missed 2 trips in 13 years, and this is one of the 2. And my teenagers are they're very vocal. But you guys, you know what is so awesome is, and I look at it as a blessing, is I'm kicking myself that I didn't do it. And I hope you are too. I really do, because you guys, you know what that means? You wanted it. And whether you joined Arbonne, you launched your business, even after the incentive trip had closed on June 1st, and you're like, dang it, I wanted to be there. You know, if you joined even in July or August, or if you've been in Arbonne like me for a while, that means that you want it. And you guys, this is what I'm here to share, is that you can be there, so that this time next year, if it's in October again, which it has been the last couple of years, you can be there. And all you have to do is tap into everyone on your team that's down there to see why it's worth it. But there's really nothing I can share. I hate to be this is the preemptive. There's nothing I can share with you guys tonight that is going to wow you or be new, because you have such an amazing upline. Your upline is creme de la creme. They are just amazing. They're trailblazers. You are part of a nation that is just not only just exploding, but just so strong. And I'm laughing because when Liz reached out and I said, okay, but what could I share? She goes, well, because you're one of the OGs. And I still don't know what OG means. So I'm thinking old girl, because I could be a lot of your moms. I'm old enough. I could be a lot of your moms, if that makes sense. But I'm an old girl in this business, and I love it. I don't know what OG stands for, but I cracked up when I saw that. And it's original gangster. Oh my God, Mary, that's so sweet. Okay, that's so much better than old girl, you guys. See how our minds play tricks on us? Okay, so what I will share, and what Liz did bring up, is that, and it's true, I've been in a long time, you guys, and she shared, she goes, could you share on consistency, the importance of consistency. And I would love to go on and on and on about consistency, but I'm going to give you a little OPW, and that's so I'm now giving you a little abbreviation for yourself: other people's wisdom. And I hope that my hindsight is your foresight, so that your journey, not that I look back with regret on my journey 13 years later, that I'm not where I want to be. I am. I literally am grateful, and I'm on my knees every day thanking God for the journey, because I am nowhere where I ever thought I could be, and I'm so much further along. And I know I'm just getting started. And so when it comes down to consistency after 13 years, it really even goes another layer deeper, which comes down to the commitment level. So if you know me well, I hope some of you know me well enough, or you can tell your teammates, I am love. I literally would love to be in person with you, and I would hug you. I would hug every single one of you. I'm that awkward person that, like, literally people don't leave my workshops without a hug, because it's just, this is why we're all here, to love and to love each other and to be loved. And so what I'm going to share tonight, I'm coming from a place of love, from an old G, a gangster, but an old girl too. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. And so your commitment, you guys, so I might ruffle some feathers. And if I ruffle your feathers, call me out, message me tonight and be like, you ruffled my feathers. And you guys, you get me one-on-one, not because I'm going to get harder on you. It's because I'm going to love you more, because you needed to hear it. Whatever I ruffle your feathers, it means you are ready for that level of leadership. You're ready to grow. And that's when the magic happens, you guys. So your commitment, which consistency comes from, really sprouts on the day that you decide to launch your business. You know, this is when you sit down with your sponsor and you decide, you know, you make that connection of what your dream, desire, discontent is, and you connect it somehow, or someone connects it for you to Arbonne, and how Arbonne can give you that. And you know, 13 years ago, what my commitment was, what was sprouted was, as Megan shared, my background's in education. I'd been a public school teacher, and then a private school teacher, and then a director of a whole school. Absolutely loved what I did. But I found myself working, I only knew one route, and that was to work, promote, work, promote. And I found myself in, and maybe you can relate, where I thought I had always wanted to be. It took 10 years to get there. And all of a sudden I was there, and it wasn't what I wanted anymore, because it came with a big title and a lot of responsibility, and I managed a whole school, and I thought I was the cat's meow. But you know what else, you guys? It meant I had to give up something that had become the most important thing in my life, and that was time with my family. Because when I had started my career, I was a single girl and I was footloose and fancy free. But 10 years later, I was a mom. I was a wife. I had started a family, and I realized, as much as I loved my career, I loved being home with my family as much, or more actually. And so I was looking for that. I was very uncomfortable in my life, and I knew I wanted more. And that's when my upline casted a vision that was so big that she casted where she was going. So this is a little side note that I didn't intend on the training. When you cast your vision to someone, you make your why so big that it includes their why. And her why was so big, I wanted to be a part of it, because I could see my why could fit into her why. Does that make sense? We had completely two different reasons to do this, but hers was so big and it was so inclusive. I felt like I could jump on board and grab the board, so to speak, and jump on the wave and ride this with her. And that's what I did. And I became very good at being consistent, and very uncomfortable. But, so, your commitment will fuel your way to your goal. And it should never go away. I jumped in, I ran really fast, you guys, because my goal was urgent. When I looked at the Arbonne compensation plan, I connected what would give me freedom of choice, and that was the RVP level. So I ran to region, and in just under 12 months, I promoted to region, which I laughed. Back then, it was really fast. Nowadays, although never compare yourself, because look, I'm still 13 years later. I'm not a nation yet. Will be this year, but it's okay. Your journey is your journey. But nowadays, I see people promoted in like 3 months. I'm like, dang, all these whippersnappers. So never compare. That's another side note. Never compare your journey, because it's your journey, and you are becoming and evolving and growing into the person you are meant to, that he destined you to be. And we're all going to end up at the top anyway. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you. It's your journey. But I got there, and then I got very complacent. And so my consistency, because the commitment to my goal was foggy. I no longer had a goal. I reached my goal. My goal was to get to region, to replace my full-time income so I could get home and be more present in my family's life. And I did that. But then I didn't reassess my goal. And therefore my commitment that fueled my activity was no longer there. And so my consistency started to wane. But then fast forward 6 months after promoting to region and walking away from my full-time job, the recession hit. And that my husband worked at the time in the trades. And if any of you have any loved ones that work in the trades, when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's really scary. And it got really scary in 07, 08 really quickly. And all of a sudden, the urgency for me to kick my business into gear jumped up again. And so my commitment was rock solid again to my business. And so my consistency to my activity snapped back into action, and I got to where I needed to go. But guess what happened? Then I swung back and got really comfortable. And so maybe you can relate to my story, you guys. And so this is where I say, I hope my hindsight can be your foresight, that you don't fall into this pendulum swing, because it's harder to get back up than it did to get there the first time. So I'm going to go through some specific points, and I'm going to be asking you some questions hypothetically. I think we're all muted. Not me, obviously, but all of you guys are muted. So I hope if you have a pen and paper, I'm going to ask you to be really honest with yourself and answer these questions. And if you don't, maybe you have your phone near you, you can use yes or no, or just at least think and really just internalize these questions. And you guys, these are questions. When I say I'm going to ruffle some feathers, these were questions that were asked of me, because someone at this point in my life, after I got my business really rocking after the recession, so I took over that financial pressure from my family, and I got comfortable again. Someone who loved me a lot in my upline called me out to the woodshed, so to speak, and she first recommended Jack Canfield's the Success Principles. It's like 700 pages, but it had some questions, and the first chapter is about responsibility. So I'm going to ask you these questions that are going to, ask you about your commitment to your business. And as I said, I ask you to answer very strongly and honestly, because they're going to lead you to the ultimate question: how strong is your commitment? And you guys, this is when I had to do a big self-check, holy smokes, I thought I was committed and I wasn't, because I was tiptoeing on the edge of commitment level. And I honestly believe that the level of your commitment is the greatest predictor of whether you'll reach your goal or not. So whether you'll be an ENVP or not, and whether you'll be able to check off that long list of personal and financial accomplishments at the end of each year. So, so that we're all on that same page, here's some questions that she asked me that I'm going to ask of you. Do you take responsibility for yourself? Do you ever find yourself, even in your brain, you might not be thinking it out loud, but do you ever think to yourself that you're blaming others for where you are? Do you ever make excuses why you could not follow up with that activity, or why your income producing activities are not where they should be that week or that day? Do you hold your team accountable? If you have a team larger than one, than yourself, do you ever hold them accountable for why you did not reach your end of month goal? Maybe your bonus or your qual or your promotion. Do you ever blame a group events, low sales, or the level of interest from the audience on the host because she invited or he invited the wrong people? Do you believe that you're not promoting because your upline didn't support you or fully train you enough? Or maybe they didn't share with you what they shared with someone else, and that's why they're rocking and you're not? Do you use distance as an excuse for why you could not attend meetings in person? If you've answered yes to any one of these questions, you guys, and I say this with love, you don't yet take 100% responsibility for yourself as a business owner. And despite what you say and what I said to myself, you are not truly committed to that goal. And I say this with love, you guys. Trust me, I've been there. What I've learned is that your level of commitment will directly translate to how far you'll go in this company. And if you're 100% committed to your goal, then you're going to hold yourself accountable, and it will become something that fuels you. Just as good as it feels to reach a goal, it will feel equally and even more so satisfactory to, yes, I will, Shannon, whoever just posted that, I'll post those questions to Liz or to Megan. But, I want you to get to the position, because you guys, when you're in this sweet spot that I'm going to explain, you are unstoppable. And that is when you are so committed to your goal that you don't even care about the results. Whether people say yes or no, you are so fueled because your self-esteem, your self-awareness, you're so empowered by your own commitment to yourself that you know you're showing up for what you said you're going to do, even if no one's watching you. And you guys, that's when the magic happens. Not on the highlight reel of Facebook, social media, down everyone being recognized. Do you know why the people are being recognized down in Jamaica? It's because they did the work behind the scenes, in the shadow, in the dark, by themselves. They were in the arena by themselves with no one else cheering them on or, picking them back up after they fell or got nosed or were ignored or laughed at or mocked at. And you're going to be, it's okay. We've all been there. But they did the work behind the scenes, and that's what you can commit to too. And so to be 100% committed, I've learned that you need to do the following steps. Number one, you have to, no matter what, write down and post your short-term and long-term goals everywhere. Every month, and I train my team to write down their good, their great, and their awesome goals. And their awesome goals, I call them the big, hairy, audacious goals, the ones that totally scare you, but they move you to the next level. And when you write these down, put them on a sticky note and write them everywhere in the house, on your bathroom mirror, on your bedside table, on your office desk, your refrigerator, your desktop at work, where your car, wherever, your laundry room, wherever you are the most, over the crib, whatever's going on in life, put them everywhere, you guys. And then also share them with your upline, because they are going to hold you accountable. And don't look at it as they're your employers, your bosses, or they're going to, be hard on you. You guys, share it with your upline, because they're going to hold you accountable, because then they're going to say, okay, so this is your goal. Why? Why is that so important? And when someone knows why something is so important to you, they're never going to let you forget it, even when you want to, because you have a bad day and you're going, this is a kit burning day. Whenever we've all had them, the days that we just want to burn our starter kit. It's okay. You're normal. If you're having a day like that, that's normal, but you're going to get past it. I promise you. And you know what? That tough day that you took a breath, not a break, is going to empower you to give you a test. It's testing you to have a testimonial for someone else on your team who down the road is going to have that kit burning day. I promise you. I just talked someone off the ledge the other day. Number two, follow your upline system for success. Oh my God, you guys, 13 years later, and some of you have been in for 6, 8, 10 years or more. You know how many we have 2 different uplines, but you guys, I'm sure it's the same. We've all tried different things. Like we see someone in social media, this is where it's a blessing and it's curse. We see someone else or another team exploding over on the other side of the country. We're like, they must be doing something else. So we're going to go try that before we try our own system. And you guys, Cecilia Stoll said it best, ENVP Cecilia Stoll. I heard her say this in a training a couple years ago. When you're making my monthly income, you can change the system. So I love that. So just do what works. It's not sexy. It's not flashy, but it works, you guys. And the reason why it works is because it's their evidence that it worked. Follow Amy. Look at where Amy has. Look at what she's created. She knows what it takes to be successful, and she's duplicated that with her leaders. So follow them. They only want you to get there. I promise you, they would never think of this. You're their paycheck. So they will never ask you to do something that will not make you successful, because if you're not successful, they are not successful. So listen to them. Ask for help if you need, clarification or support, or maybe an extra tool, maybe an extra go for the gold training or something from your upline. They'll give it to you. They're not going to hold anything back. There's not like a secret that you have to get to a certain title before you're, exposed to some more information. They want to give it all to you. So determine what your team's reach out method is and stick with it. Master it. Be the number one person on your team who is the best at that. Number 3, it goes back to listening to your upline. Be coachable, you guys. That was my first. I'm probably good at really 3 things in Arbonne. And one of the 3 things I'm good at is I'm 100% coachable. As soon as my upline takes me out to the woodshed or just says, hey, I have a suggestion, of course it's a constructive criticism, but I immediately am like, what tell me what to do, and I will do it. I am so coachable. if my mentor Michelle told me, or Dana and Dina told me to strip down and roll around in the snow, I'd do it if it meant that I was going to propel my business. It's terrifying. You don't want to imagine that vision. But you guys, I'd do it. I'd do anything they told me. So be 100% coachable. And don't question it or give excuses why you can't do it. They know the obstacles. And the reason why they're asking you to do it is because they've already done it and it worked. We're never going to ask you to do something that didn't work for us. And trust me, I've failed so many more. My job is to fail more than my team failed, so they don't have to make the same mistakes. Number 4, step out of your comfort zone. Not only step out of it, get excited about stepping out of your comfort zone. And this is an area that is very ironic, uncomfortable for me. So I don't like to be uncomfortable, but now I embrace it. And I learned this actually from Miranda Burcham a couple years ago. She did a training and it's one I watched. She's in the blue dress from GTC a couple years ago. And she talks about being uncomfortable. And it's true. As soon as you get uncomfortable, know that's that line where you are going to go from where you're stuck to where you're meant to go, just by taking action over that line and get uncomfortable. Remember that your upline had to do this and they want you to succeed. Number 5, stay in consistent activity. Talk to 5, break it down, find out what your team's system is for success. I always tell my team, no matter what, talk to 5 new people a day about Arbonne. Right now, I have a very audacious goal before January 1st. And so I've started a boot camp for 90 days. And I asked everyone in my region, all right, whoever is really committed to run to area or above I have some areas going to region, jump on. So we're doing September, October, November, and then a little bit of December. And so part of this boot camp was we are doing what's called a sprint cruise. So for 2 weeks, we are committed to just fire up our calendar. And for 2 weeks, we're reaching out to 20 new people a day for 5 days. So we pick 5 days for 2 weeks, each week, 5 days for each 2 weeks. And we text out a specific message to reach out to people to hear the Arbonne opportunity, the Arbonne story, products, business, host something, whatever, to 20 new people. It's insane. Because it's not hard actually to text out to 20 new people. It's the follow-up. But what it is, you guys, it's creating a commotion in our business. So we sprint for 2 weeks and then we cruise for 2 weeks. And so for the cruise period is for those 5 days for each of the 2 weeks, we reach out to 5 people, which sounds nothing compared to 20, but we're following up with all the 20. So, really I challenge you for these last few weeks of 2018. And yes, it's weeks, you guys. It's going to go by like this. Light up your business and do at least double than what your team, not what you've been doing, because double of nothing is just 2. So I want you to double what your team's system for success is. I double dog dare you to take this challenge just for the next 2.5 months, you guys, and you will propel your business on the first of the year to a level that you would have never seen. I promise you, because it's taking a short amount of time and just igniting it. And what happens is, I am so excited too, Caitlin. And what happens is, you guys, it's hot, cold stay together. So you create a massive surge of activity, but guess what? All of contagious. And all of a sudden, your team members, either your success line, your sideline, are going to catch on and they're going to want to know what you're doing. And even if it's your sideline and you're saying, but I'm not paying on your sideline, guess what, you guys? Your teammates, your prospects everyone is watching. I promise you, you don't even know who's watching. They're watching you on social media, at the grocery store, at the carpool line, at the soccer field, at work. They are watching you and they're seeing things happen, you guys. And they are going to be, it's like a black hole of love. They're going to be pulled into this warp zone. So jump in. Shock your calendar. That's what I call it. Number 6, create a treasure chest to share with your team. Now you might be thinking, oh, that sounds so lovely. No, it is, but your treasure chest is filled with all your mistakes and your achievements. This way you can lead your team on the most direct path to the top, you guys, because you're going to shock your calendar and shock your business, shock your calendar, shock your activity, and propel it. You are going to hear more no's get eyes rolled in the face. I just had someone who's literally in front of me, roll their eyes and went, I will never do that. And I'm like, yes, you will, but it's okay. I said that to myself. I didn't say that to them, but I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You're wrinkly, so let's use some products. I didn't say that either, but that's what I want to say. But they did sign up to take advantage of the RE9 system, which then they're going to fall in love with. I'm going to love on them as my customer. They are going to upgrade to a consultant because they're going to tell all their friends and family about the products. You guys, this is just what happens. 13 years later, that's what I've discovered. Never close that door, because people do always come back. And you know what? I just told my team too, just go off on tangents, and I'm watching the time, 4 minutes. But you are in such a perfect time, you guys, because you know why? I have watched so many people, and so has your upline, watched so many people quit. And you know what? You are in Arbonne at the best time, like the best time, with our 30-day program, the RE9 system being rewinded, and now the brightening system being reintroduced and expanded. You guys, people are flooding back because people either quit Arbonne and let go of their account, but their clients, their friends and family might have followed them to another company that was more chemically based and just not supportive. And now they're realizing those chemically based products actually don't work. It just shocked their skin and it burnt all their healthy skin cells. So now they want to heal their skin cells. So they're coming back. You guys, do you know I have 9 new preferred clients that went away from Arbonne and I'll send you some of the text messages that were like, oh my God, my face has never felt better than when I was with Arbonne. Can I come back? Can I come back? I'm like, yes, you can come back as my customer. You guys stick in the game, never quit. Okay, number 7, plug in. Listen to go for whatever your team. I know your upline has amazing trainings. Go for the gold every Saturday. I think every team is plugged into that. Plus your own teams, your uplines calls. You guys, they are doing this selflessly. Like Megan and all these your upline. They don't have to be on this. They're rocking in their business. But they set this up to support you. They pull us in to give you some more OPW. I can bring you to the woodshed with love because you might never see me again, but I hope you do. Number 8, attend all meetings. We already talked about that. Number 9, and this is 2 more, accept that you will need to make sacrifices. I was warned at the start of my business, and it was the best advice that I received, that we need to give up the very reason why we're doing this business until we get our why. So my why when I first started Arbonne was to get home to my family, because my oldest, who just turned 14 2 weeks ago, he was the reason why Arbonne. He is why, because I had to put him in daycare 6 10-hour days for the first year of his life. I only saw him on Sundays because I'd wake his car seat would be under the crib. I'd get him up at 6:30 while he was sleeping, and then I would put him in the car seat. I had to rush to go get ready for work, and I would pack up his formula and everything. So he was in daycare from 6 weeks of age on, and then I'd drop him off at daycare. They fed him. They saw his first words, his first steps. They saw everything. He called the daycare provider mama, and that hurts, you guys. And then my husband would pick him up around 6 o'clock at night at the end of the day and bring him home, and he'd be asleep before I got home. So the only time I ever saw my son's waking time was on Sundays. And that was for a whole year. And that was when we also had to do the grocery shopping, the laundry, never mind catch up with my husband. And he wasn't very sexy at this point. We were 2 ships in the night. So, and we were financially we were struggling. And so you guys, my why to do Arbonne was to see my baby more often. And yet I had to give up that why. I had to give up the only one day I was home with him on Sundays to go build my Arbonne business. And I did that for another year, you guys. It was hard. And now by this point, he's 2 and he's crying and he snots and he's screaming for me. And I have to drop him at a babysitter or leave him with my husband. And I still didn't get to see him. But you guys, you know what? That was hard on me. But who is this for? It was for him. It wasn't for me. I wanted to get home for him to have his mom raise him, not some other stranger. And so from the age of 2 on, guess what? He now is like, can you please leave me alone? Because I'm beside him every day, literally. But you guys, do the hard now. Rip off the Band-Aid. Don't drag it out. Have you ever tried to pull off a Band-Aid? It hurts. It pulls the hair follicles out and you feel like everyone is like on fire. Rip it off, you guys. Just do it now. I went off on a tangent. So do the hard now, sacrifice now. You will be so grateful in the long run. And number 10, and most importantly, commit to improving who you are on the inside. If you do this, you guys, success on the outside will follow. Always pour, and Rita Davenport always told us this, work hard on your business, so hard on your business, because never work harder for someone else than you would work for yourself. So work hard on your business, but work harder on yourself, because your paycheck will never outgrow you. So if your paycheck equals choices, equals freedom of choices, then you need to work extra harder on yourself. That means waking up at 5 a.m. Yeah. It means waking up an hour early or staying up an hour late. Sometimes, there's been times in my business where I don't have I commit to at least 30 minutes of reading of personal development. And then I do an hour of listening personal development, either audiobooks or YouTube videos. IQ motivation is what my vibe is right now. Brene Brown, Rachel Hollis podcast, and those are my library. I'm listening to while I'm driving, but I also read a half an hour minimally a day. And you guys, that has been the game changer. So I am recognizing that everything rests on you can be daunting. If you want to reach your goals and make your dreams come true, then you need to decide, believe, and make that commitment to yourself. I got off topic, you guys. I guarantee to you it is going to be so worth it. I hope I really do pray I ruffled some of your feathers, and you take my tips, at least one of them, and implement it into your business. And in a year from now, you can come up to me and be like, I wanted to punch you, stick a fork in your throat after you told me that, because I didn't like what you made me feel. Awesome. But I hope it propels your business and to rock 2018, because you guys, we're at mid-month. I'm so honored that I get to choose mid-month. I get to be with you, and you have 2 weeks to decide how you end 2018. So Meg, I'm going to turn it back to you. I'm sorry if I went over. I'm literally like on fire. I get so excited.
Well, I'm so excited. Everybody's giving great feedback. We totally appreciate you coming on for us and taking the time. We appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Oh, you're so
Wait, can I brag on you really quick? Can I just brag on you? Okay, so I met Caitlin probably maybe 3-4 months into my business. Catherine Lutz had come up, who's one of your higher up uplines, correct?
Yeah.
She had done a quarterly event in Portsmouth, and Shane introduced me to you. And it was just, I don't know what it was. It was like your energy and your positive vibes. And I instantly was just attracted to you like a magnet. And I can't thank you enough for coming on and just doing this for us. And I know you would literally kick our booties, because we all need it. And oh my gosh, I just adore you so much.
Mwah. Love you.
Yay. Bye.
Do anything for you guys. I love Liz, Megan. I just do anything for you guys. You are part of one of the most incredible teams in Arbonne. And I'm just so grateful I get to, you guys light us up. So it's right back.
Oh, good. Yay. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have a great night. Happy Monday.
Good night, guys.
Bye.